I'm Barbara Corrigan. I'd like to call this meeting to order.
We can start. I'll do roll call. Alanis.
Here.
Bañales.
Here. Oh, yeah.
Baltasar.
Here.
Brown. Corrigan.
Here.
Munoz.
Here.
And Park.
Here.
I think Munoz said she was having difficulty showing her screen, so.
Yeah, I am. So I'm not able to launch it on my end.
And it'll be okay this time.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to excuse Trustee Brown's absence?
I make a motion to excuse him.
Can I get a? You'll second, Providence, Alanis, Trustee Alanis. I have to call roll call again. Alanis?
Here. Yes.
Yes, okay. Bañales,
Here.
Baltasar,
Yes.
Corrigan,
Here.
Munoz,
Yes.
and Park.
Here.
And this is just, so motion passes to excuse Trustee Brown's absence.
All in favor? Or
I
do
just did the roll call.
Oh. Oh, okay, so we don't need that. Okay, good.
Margaret, if you were ready to go to the next line item.
Okay. Consent agenda, let's see. Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes from of the last meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Are
Yes.
there additions or corrections?
Not that I can see.
Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
A second?
I'll call roll call again. And just if you can answer by yes or no, whether to approve them. Alanis,
Yes.
Bañales,
I abstain. I wasn't there.
Baltasar,
I abstain. I was not present.
Munoz,
Yes.
and Corrigan.
Yes.
Oh, so Alicia, what do we do when we don't have enough to pass it?
Good question.
I didn't hear my name.
Oh, she didn't hear
Oh.
ours.
Par. But that still only gives us 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Munoz, sorry. I'm slacking today.
I thought that was, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, so let me do this again.
Motion passes.
Okay, motion passes. Sorry, you guys. I'll get it to order by the end of the meeting.
Do we have any oral communications, Alicia?
So first of all, we don't have any items to remove from the consent agenda.
Okay.
And you're on to 4A, Barbara, if you want to announce that.
Oh, okay. Do we have any communication from the public?
I have something. So our new journal, Journal X, was published sometime in the spring online, but we just got hard copies. It's our magazine. It includes poetry, short stories. It has artwork from members of the community across Santa Cruz County, lots of folks from Watsonville and also beyond. We got contributors from like across the United States. So it's really beautiful. It's our first edition. It's going to be ongoing. It's housed at the Watsonville Center. It's part of Cabrillo College. The editors are students. And so our library has copies and also the main branch in Santa Cruz and Capitola and all over Cabrillo College. So stop by next time you're in the library and pick up your copy. And you know, we've got Rebecca Garcia, council members, got some poetry in here. So it's really cool. Consuelo Alba, you know, Watsonville Film Festival director has photography in here. So it's, pick up your copy. They're free.
Yeah, and we're also going to catalog 2 of those to keep in our local history room. So yes.
And if you want more, Alicia, just reach out to me because I have some extra boxes and I'm kind of saving them for like our community for when we need more. And I'll be sure to bring them out for events. Oh, and also there's a scholarship fundraiser. So I should send you a flyer for that. On Friday, it's at the Pajaro Valley Arts Gallery. It's going to be outside and social distance, but all proceeds for that, the money goes for scholarships for first-gen students. So it's kind of cool. It's a local author named Olga Salinas. She's publishing a book of poetry called La Llorona. And there's also going to be like artists there, like Jaime, what's his last name? Jaime, the guy who did the beautiful big mural by the plaza.
Sanchez.
Jaime Sanchez will be there presenting some work, and there's going to be music, and so it should be great. And like I said, refreshments.
What is the date?
It's this for a week from, so next Friday. I'll send Alicia the flyer.
Yes,
and
I'll send it out.
Yeah, so if you want to show up from 6 to 8 p.m. on Friday night, it should be beautiful. And again, if you buy a copy of La Llorona, that author is just contributing all of the money for student scholarships.
It's going to be at the plaza.
The PV Arts Gallery on Sutton Street, and they have like some open space in the back.
They do, yes.
And I'll be reading some poems too.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Good job, thanks.
Anyone else? Okay. So my oral communications from the library director. So the status on the reopening of the libraries, as someone already mentioned, we just got a protocol from the Santa Cruz County Health indicating that masks are required now for indoor settings, whether you're vaccinated or not. So we've already started that without having that mandate. We're not policing, we're just, gently reminding people, but if they don't have a mask, we'll provide one for the interim. If we run out, then we'll refer them to the 4th floor where they can pick up a mask. But considering this isn't new, we've been in this pandemic for more than a year and a half, people should readily have their masks available. So we just want to ensure the safety of our youth, so the younger population who's also hasn't been vaccinated, and also the vulnerable population. So just letting you know about that. We're also looking at statistics to gather and realize, and also to gather information and then about what hours of operations we will want to extend in the fall. But like I said, it's all determined based on the CDC and the Santa Cruz County Health Agency in regards to if we can allow more in-person programming, which everybody's excited and wants to start. So we'll have more details on that. But in the meantime, we're gathering statistics to also validate what nights we want to open, both here and at Freedom, and also extend morning hours. Let's see, of course, the meeting rooms are not available for the same reason, that we want to ensure the public is safe. And also, we are also have the opportunity to do some maintenance at Freedom. So they're getting new front doors installed in September, and then they just finished painting the interior of the walls. So there's a splash of color in the Freedom Library. So like when you get a chance, stop by. The children's room looks like a children's room. It's really pretty. So we're going to liven up the areas more. In regards to strategic work plan update, we've been so busy this summer. We've had such a tremendous amount of outreach from our librarians and enthusiasm. We are then also, we outreach to the PV High School. They've invited our young adult librarian and our family services librarian, and they were there during registrations. So they got to meet the students, they showcased the bibliovan, and told them about all our wonderful resources and how to get a library card, which will segue into library card sign up month for September. So we're gearing up for having individuals sign up for cards in September by outreaching to the various schools. And then we also participated in the Strawberry Festival, which I gather there was 5,000 plus people who came to this event. And so we also had we tabled an art activity, and we also handed out the information about all our services. So to remind people that we are still here, we're downtown and we're still open. And then we had our youth librarian go visit the Watsonville Nature this past Saturday, and she was also there providing information, having the participants do a haiku. So it was related to education and reading and poems. And then also, we're really excited. I'm really excited about having arts and culture in our library as part of one of our goals in our strategic plan. So we're going to meet with the Arts Council of Santa Cruz County to discuss the movement for arts and culture in the Pajaro Valley with Yesenia Camacho Bautista. We're also I'm scheduling a meeting along with Watonka and I we're going to want to partner with the Pajaro Valley Arts also. We're going to do an exhibit for the Day of the Dead there as part of their Dia de los Muertos exhibit. And that's in October. And then we've also partnered with Wings, a homeless advocacy agency that provides free birth certificates, notary services for patrons, individuals experiencing homelessness or housing issues. And so they will allow help them fill out this application so that they can get their birth certificate, which is of course needed in order for them to apply for various social services. So that Wings is here the second Friday of every month. And so this is an ongoing program that will be happening at the library. And then we're also planning a staff day for Wednesday, September 22nd from 8 to 12. We'll open the library at 1 o'clock, and this staff day is to gather. We're going to gather in the second floor large area, and we're going to broach the topics of how to deal with difficult patrons, mental health, customer service, and in a post-pandemic, well, it's not even post because it's still COVID, but how do we continue and how do we approach and be, empathetic and also, sympathetic to our public. And also we are going to touch on all the various resources and as a reminder that what we have and what they can showcase to all our patrons. So we've been super busy, which is really great. And outreach is our focus for this upcoming year. And so I'm really excited that the staff is so involved and willing to go out and into the community. For the fiscal year 21-22 budget, Luz, did you have anything you wanted to bring up?
For the budget, it's going slowly. We've had a few issues combining the budget because our literacy is a grant, so we have to figure out how to put those, how to keep it separate but still keep it together. So I still have to keep a separate spreadsheet for literacy. But there's just little hiccups that we're figuring out as we're going. Other than that, we're spending our money slowly but surely.
And I know that seems like we're in the negative here, but in finance numbers, That's really a positive, right?
Yeah, what happens is, what happens is because we, from the general fund, as you guys know, we only get $500,000, well, now that we combined it, it's like 5,400 and 5,401. And this 3.9 is what we get, that's what we get as sales tax. So they anticipate that, but they have to charge it out because it's not a general fund allocation. So we technically could only have the this number right here, which is the 585, because it's also considering the little bit from literacy.
Mhm.
So that's what supposedly that's what our budget is, if that makes sense. That cash in and cash out is kind of confusing.
Any questions? We're always happy to answer. But I want you guys to know that we want to be transparent. And so we want you to know that, what we purchase and what we buy is all in relation to the library. And then down at the bottom, she listed all the various grants that we've applied for, and which is also helps us with being able to do a lot of the programming that we do here at the library. Questions on that? And then moving back to the grants, we're finalizing the write-ups for the Art technology. We're going to have a tech day on Wednesday, August 25th as part of the grant. We got $12,000 from the California State Library, and that was for buying laptops, 3D materials, 3D doodle pens, mini iPads. And so this equipment will be out, and also various software and like for podcasting and Photoshop, and those will be available next Wednesday for the public to use. And then we're finalizing our Lunch with the Library, the $7,000 grant that we got from Pacific Library Partnership, where we were able to go out to 9 sites and distribute free books and also provide our information about our resources. So we partnered with Community Bridges, so that was great. And then we just, Watonka applied for a California Humanities Grant, and we were awarded another $15,000, and that'll help with operational, which means that for staffing needs. And so that'll also help for when we move into the fall and start opening nights and morning hours. So that'll help with our operational costs. So we're always looking for grants. So. The Poet Laureate update, unfortunately, I still haven't gotten any submissions. I'm going to put out another claim in the paper and see if there's interest. And I also haven't gotten committee members, but I'm going to send out applications to individuals that I know that are might want to be committee members, and like the lady who runs our Poet Circle could probably be one of our committee members. And so just letting you know that I've not forgotten. And then Victoria, you sent me an email. Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, and I'm hoping that people will submit, hopefully, like just even like doing Journal X, a lot of like the submissions come like literally like at the last minute. So I hope, fingers crossed. But so I received an email from a gentleman named Christopher Soriano, and he wants to apply for the Poet Laureate position. He's native born from Watsonville, lived here all his life, but took off for 2 years to live in Los Angeles, where he has a sister during COVID. He's back now. He's been back for like over a month. So he asked, can I apply? Because I guess the application says they have to have been living in Watsonville for a year. So I don't know. Is that a decision we make, or who?
Yeah, that's a decision you would make, Victoria.
But he was just visiting his sister?
No, he stayed with his sister for 2 years during, when the COVID thing, the outbreak. So he moved away from Watsonville. He's now back permanently living with his parents.
I personally don't see an issue since he's a native.
Yeah, he's lived here his
Watsonville.
whole life. Yeah,
And he's back, so.
me
Yeah.
too. I feel like, yeah, he's been here more than a year, if you think
Yeah.
about it, right? He's been here like about 30 years.
Yeah,
So.
and then I was gonna say, Victoria, for some of those that submitted for the Journal X that may be interested in applying, so reach out to
I have
them.
definitely reached out to Akua, who said she was interested, but her wife just passed. So then I'm like, oh, timing is, we'll see. I
Yeah.
sent her a little email anyways. Can Magdalena apply since she lives in Corralitos? That's a question too that I have.
It's outside, it's considered South County.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, well, since we have such few applicants, I will get back to Christopher. I mean, unless somebody objects in this group that you think that he shouldn't apply, I'll go ahead and tell him that he can.
he can.
Okay.
Anybody else objects or? Okay. And then I'm gonna, hopefully, I'm gonna reach out to the Vivian, who's the Women of Color, Women, what was that organization she started?
Oh, Vivian Vargas.
Yes, I will see her tomorrow, so I will reach out to her and see if she can get me a couple names also.
And I had spoken with Stan Rushworth, who said that he wanted to be on the committee. So
Okay.
I will reach out to him once more just to double check
Mhm.
and remind him about the deadline.
Do you want me to mail him an application?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay, we'll
great.
do that.
Yeah, you have his
Okay.
email. Maybe you could say Victoria said you were interested in serving on the committee. Here's the application. I asked him if he wanted to be like apply for the poet laureate because he's a poet too, but he was like, no, but I want to be on the committee.
Okay, I'll send them an application.
I think since people aren't really beating down the door to be on this committee, that we'll take just about anybody who's breathing and wants to be on it.
Yeah, I think the committee, we'll be able to do that. I mean, even if we nudged, like, I'm sure Magdalena would do it.
Yeah.
And Stan already said he would, and that's already 3 people right there, including
Yeah.
myself.
Okay.
But I'm more concerned about people not applying for the poet laureate position.
So if the board does not object, I was thinking of extending the application deadline to the end of September.
Well, I'd say let's wait to see, because I swear sometimes they just all come in like 2 days before.
Okay,
And then at that point, if we're like not seeing anything, then I would extend it.
okay, all righty. And then for staff recruitment, we have an open position for librarian and we got 41 applications. And a majority were from a lot of them were from out of the state. So we did, Watonka did an amazing job of dwindling it down to 16 applicants because that's all, we're able to accommodate in a one day. We won't know whether there'll be an in-person, hybrid, or virtual interviews, but we're really excited. We have a really great candidate pool of candidates, applicants, and with diverse experience. And so we're really excited. And then also Watonka and Alex will be hiring also on-call staff to help us support our hours for when we do send our permanent staff out to do outreach events. We'll be able to maintain our doors open. So we have a clerk positions and also on-call librarians. And we've had quite a few applicants for the library clerk position and half a dozen for the on-call position, which is a great opportunity for those that have just recently graduated with their MLIS and can get some experience in the public library setting. Questions? So we hope to interview by the end of the last week in August, the first week in September. And comments from the public, comment forms, we've gotten a couple where they've requested morning hours. So like I said, we're going to explore on how we can accommodate that. We've reached out to the patron to see what days of the week or, just recommendations. And then also we've gotten a request from from the public to allow individuals more than one person in a study room. So we'll be discussing that at our next admin meeting. It's just if we do an exception for one particular group, then if somebody walks by and sees them in there, then they're going to ask, why do they have an exception? And then we don't get to use the study rooms. But we really want to make sure that we're not spreading the disease. So we are practicing social distancing. And so that's why we are limiting one person per study room, because it is a tight and contained space. And so it's just for safety protocols. And that's it for my report.
Do you,
Let me pull up that. Here we go. Hopefully you've had an opportunity for the new business. We have the computer and internet use policy. As I mentioned at our last meeting, we are looking at all our policies to make them more inclusive and equitable. And we noticed that we allow students who are in junior high to get a library card, but don't allow them to sign up for internet on their own. So we wanted to be fair and make it equitable. So I changed the language just that it's if you're 11 years old or younger, that you do need parental permission to use the internet. If you're in junior high and older, then you can sign up on your own. And so considering the internet is kind of like basically is a necessity nowadays. It's not you need it for schoolwork, research, find employment, entertainment. So we just wanted to, that's the only change that I made to this policy. If anybody else found any other things that they wanted to change, let me know. Otherwise, if Barbara, you can call a motion or.
I just had a quick question.
Yes.
Is this also available in other languages like Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I get a motion?
a motion stating what?
I make the motion to approve the computer and internet use policy as presented.
Second it.
Okay, so I got it, motion by trustee Baltasar, second by Corrigan. I will now call roll call. Alanis,
Yes.
Baltasar,
Yes.
Bañales,
Yes.
Corrigan,
Yes.
Munoz,
Yes.
and Parr.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have one question, Alicia, on the use of the computers in the library. Have you found or had any issue with teenagers, young people gaming on the computers? And is that something that you
We allow people to use
Okay.
Mhm. Our computers are locked down, so you really can't download any software. But we
Okay.
do have available Minecraft, and so that's the gaming that the students use, and that's more of an educational tool because they're building, and so they're strategizing, and so. But nope, we haven't had any issues. Actually, we're encouraging coding and Minecraft and Fortnite because it builds.
And one other question, I had someone ask me about Libby. Who do you talk to about getting signed up for Libby?
Any one of us. Libby is an app. You go to your app store on
Okay,
your phone and you can download it on your computer, your iPad, your Kindle, or your phone. And that's a reading application for ebooks through Overdrive. And we have instructional videos, and I can show you that when we get to our report section.
okay, thank you.
Just to let you know, I will also be bringing to the next board meeting. We're also in the process of revising our supervision of children policy. And so that will be coming up at the next meeting.
And what about 3D classes for printer, 3D printer?
Those were having next on the 25th. So we are not that particular equipment, but we just showcased that not too long ago. But we are having continuing tech days, and Watonka will talk more about that when we get to the report section.
Awesome, thank you.
So moving on.
I was just wondering, will there be any more of those the cooking classes that the library had in the past?
Oh,
That's a good question. Let's, for the report section. Excuse me, the Friends of the Library met yesterday, and they're in the process of getting new book bags with their logo, with the redesign with their logo. And so we hope to get those in the next couple of weeks, or and we'll be selling them at the front desk at both the main library and the Freedom Library. They're also looking at ways to fundraise and looking to see if they can hire a consultant who can help them establish a big event. And they're also exploring updating the website so that it'll be more intuitive, and people can pay for their membership there and also donate to the Friends of the Library. And then they're looking at Square, the Apple Square, so that when they have their quarterly or biannual book sales, they'll be able to collect money via credit card, because nowadays not very many of us carry cash anymore. So they're really starting to look at different various ways to support the library and how to bring in more revenue. Okay, and for report 6B programs, Watonka, if you'd like to let them know how the SRP and our various upcoming programs are happening.
Yeah, thank you, Alicia. And I know Alicia has already shared with you a lot of exciting details regarding the programs that are happening, as well as the outreach initiatives that our reference and program staff are engaged in. We're just now wrapping up the very successful summer reading program series of programs, and very happy to announce that the numbers are way up this year. So looking at last year versus this year's statistics, we, I think, almost doubled our numbers of folks completing programs. And we also had many more signups. So at this point, in terms of minutes read, we have over 100,000 minutes read, and the youth and folks of all ages participated in a lot of different challenges, earned badges via Beanstack. So that all in all has been wonderful. We had the kids that were very well received and really creative. And now as we're moving into the fall program initiatives, we have some very fun events that are coming up. You may all have heard about the Mini Bird Festival that we will be hosting at the Freedom Branch on the 21st. It has a lot of different components, and we're also partnering with some great program partners. So the science workshop will be involved, the Nature Center. This is just a growing and very fruitful partnership that we want to build on. This is really a scientifically oriented event, but it's a program for families and youth of all ages. So bird lovers of all ages can come. We're going to be promoting all of our bird books and dissecting owl pallets. So a lot of great science that's taking place. Making the most of our outdoor space at Freedom, I think, is a really innovative way for us to stay safe and stay physically distanced, but especially to engage families in a way that's comfortable for them. We're going to lay out blankets and bring out art easels, let people build on that art component as well. And then also in terms of art, we have the community quilt project, which the call for squares is, they have until the end of the month. That is winding down, so until August 31st. And then from there, we will have a display that is featured in the lobby. And I know Alicia already talked a little bit about the Artitech, the Drop-In Tech Day, and the podcasting events with the opportunity for students, and especially oriented to teens and tweens, but very open to folks to be able to come in and tinker around with the equipment that we have. So we're all learning about that equipment, and the staff are becoming more familiar, so that we going forward will be able to create more events and programs using that equipment, and then also hopefully having some type of a system to make it more widely available that we will be discussing, as far as whether we can do drop-in hours or how we will employ those technologies. Of really exciting opportunities. So the program runs from 3:30 until 5:30 next Wednesday. If you know any youth that may be interested, it's a great opportunity to share with them that they are most welcome to come in and learn and play with those technologies. So yeah, those are some of the things that are going on. We also have ongoing opportunities with the Beanstack platform for engagement in new reading challenges. We have one for the back to school, and we also have one that has a theme for the county fair, Carnival of Reading. And then we also have on next Wednesday coming up a financial workshop on investing. So those have been really well received as well. And we're looking forward to all of that, shifting gears into really supporting the PVUSD with the back to school initiatives, getting the word out about library resources. We have library card sign up month is coming up in September. So we're going to do a real push to highlight our resources and everything we have to offer. Alicia, was there something else that you mentioned you would like me to touch on?
The Poet Circle.
The Poet Circle. Yes, very beginning of next month. I believe it's the 2nd is our Poet Circle, and that's Thursday evening. We are definitely looking forward to a whole new round. In fact, who is our poet?
Mark Loring.
Yes, okay. And so I encourage everyone to attend, to tell a friend, and that's also another great opportunity to get the word out about the Poet Laureate.
Mhm.
So I think that's everything, unless somebody has questions about any of our events or programs or outreach initiatives.
Oh, this one here, our library Lego club.
Oh, yeah. Fun. So yeah, our children's librarian, Beth Griffo, is bringing out a Lego Master Builders program for the first Tuesday of every month. And that is going to begin in September, starting September 7th is the first one. And then that will hopefully build on itself. It's going to be in the We Play space. There will be a specific challenge provided to prompt creations, but it's also really open-ended play for kids to come in. So they'll be given a theme with the book display. The families can come in a drop-in basis and then stay and play for however long they want, and they can build whatever they want. We encourage creativity, and we'll provide cards for them to tag their creations to share on display for that month. Of course, we're going to keep the event super safe, and sanitizer will be available for the patrons to use before and after the program. And so we'll be sanitizing all of the materials. The September theme is technology. So you picture a robot. And then we'll have different cool themes each month.
And then, thank you, Alex. Alex wanted to highlight that the Watsonville Wetlands is also partnering with the Mini Bird Festival, and they will providing free binoculars. So, you know, if you have little ones, grandkids, nieces and nephews, bring them out to the Saturday event. We're also Reading Buddies, right? Is starting up again? Watonka?
Yes, and it's sort of a hybridized version of the Reading Buddies along with the book club. So it will be a little bit of a different version. It's not going to be a program utilizing volunteers. It's more of book club oriented. And so that will be also to keep that focus on building literacy and to have a recurring program. It's going to be the first Monday of every week, starting October 4th. There are going to be 6 sessions. So it's really blending the best aspects of Reading Buddies with My First Book Club, aimed at K through 3rd grade. And they will be looking at some lighthearted books that will have a focus on laughter, fun, read out loud types of accessible books that will build vocabulary, and then they will discuss it and play a game. So it should be a lot of fun.
Okay. And then from a technological perspective, Alex, did you want to talk about our cool inventory wand?
Oh, yes, so we just acquired a wand, but we're trying to get it to work, which it will also help with our inventory, so we can finally get a full picture of how many items we really actually have in the system. Over the years, things disappeared, they walk away, so we want to make sure we are able to do and provide a full inventory. So it's one that, like I said, we'll be able to use at both branches, and you can do a lot more than that. And we're still working with IT so they can, once they arrange it, we will be able to use it, but we feel like it's going to be a great addition to our tools to provide a better service.
And then I want to remind them, Watonka, about voting for the poetry contest.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yes, poetry contest, definitely take a look, and let's see if I could pull up the info.
It's on my screen.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So here's all the information. Take a look at the that page. You can vote online for the different divisions: middle school, high school, and adult. So we definitely want to encourage as many participants as possible.
All righty. And then Barbara, to answer your question, on the main page, you will see here that says ebooks and audiobooks.
Okay.
And then this is something new that we've also purchased a program where it allows the public to be able to get interactive tutorials. So if you click on that, it'll walk you through the various programs that we have. And so here you can click and it'll walk you through it. So it'll be a tutorial. And then we also, of course, have written instructions on the website. We also have Tumble books for our little ones, so they can in English and in Spanish. And there's also children's books also in Libby. And so I'm going to click on there just so you can see we're part of a consortium called the Northern California Digital Library. And you can search by collections, subjects, kids or teens. And so, so if I go to the kids page, it's tailored to the kids with the new stuff, and then fall into reading, and then various subjects. So this is, we really recommend as a good way to get your children to read. And then also we have magazines that you can also flip through them as if you were reading them. So There's a lot. Here's a quilting one, so, and then there's a lot. Time Kids, it's and also in English and in Spanish, the magazine, so. And then they also break it down by various subjects. Any other questions in regards to our services?
That is so cool.
Mhm.
What was the date for that art and ITech?
Wednesday, the 25th.
26th. Okay, thank you.
Then I want to highlight one more thing and then we'll be done for today, is I want to remind you that we also have Frigo, which is similar to Spotify. And with your library card, you can download or stream music. The albums and the songs are also in our catalog. So if you search for an artist, it'll have a link and it'll direct you to there. The same when you are searching in our catalog, you can also, if you come across an ebook or an e-audio, there's a direct link to Libby. And then you can also watch IndieFlex movies, or you can take a course through the Great Course. And then there's also Universal Class that you can also you can use. Let me go back one. Those are our databases, my free online classes. This one here. So there's over 500 courses, computer, personal, how to, GED, business, how to bake, you name it, it's there. And if you want to learn another language.
I wish that like the Register of Pajaronia would like do like a report on the library, because I don't think a lot of people know. I didn't even know some of these services that you offer, which I think
Yeah.
are amazing.
Mhm. That's why we're doing a lot of outreach. That's our focus this year. Same here. You see all the little tutorials on the side. I'll walk you through it on how to use these various resources. Want to remind you that we also have tutoring help now for kids for they need one-on-one tutoring for math, sciences, or writing, reading, and comprehension. So all this is for free. Mhm.
Great.
And we also have Job Now and Vet Now. Job Now also allows individuals who need help with their resumes. They get one-on-one tutoring and coaching, and even help them with the interviews. So, and the veterans, the Vet Now also helps veterans in finding housing, assistance, and also reentry back into the workforce. So a lot of services. Any other questions?
None.
I know it's info overload. But if you take the time to sit down and just look at all the various things that are available at your library and the amazing opportunities and resources you have at your fingertips for free. Okay. Barbara, would you want to call adjournment?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting. I think we've covered a lot today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia, for all your hard work.
Oh,
And
you're welcome to the amazing staff we have also.
yes,
Can't do it without the admin team, which is Watonka, Alex, and Liz. So kudos to them too.
yes, great. Okay, thank you.
Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Good night.